This place is way too close to civilization, I think. I can still see loads of people up there. Kids on bikes, you name it. So I'm not sure this is going to be a successful wild camp, but let's get up there and have a look. I saw quite a lot of people going down as I was coming up, but there's still quite a lot of people up here. It is not a private place, this one. I was literally about to setting the camera up, and then a load of lads came and sat down just over there. This is what you get when you camp in, you know, more or less public places, I guess. Okay, I've got the tent set up, but I'm not alone up here. I can hear voices again. I just saw a torch go on at the summit, so it's them same kids again, I think. I don't think they actually left. I still don't think I'm going to get a peaceful night, because I'm just worried about these kids hanging around. So today I'm back in the Peak District and I'm here to do another wild camp, my second wild camp on the channel. I've actually got a bigger tent this time, so I should have plenty of room even if it's windy. Should be able to sleep this time, fingers crossed. I've got hours before the sun goes down today, so I've got plenty of time to hike around the area and see if I can work out where I'm going to stay. So let's do it. And to be honest, this place where I'm standing looks pretty good. It's called Windy Knoll according to the map. That is perfect tent pitching grass, and there is quite a view. However, we do have an easterly wind today. That is the east, and it's whistling straight through Windy Knoll. One of the places I want to have a look at is up there, not quite on the peak but a little bit off of it. On the other side there's an old road that's disused and kind of, you know, broken by landslides, and I'm hoping that it's going to be not only flat but sheltered from the wind. And that is where I really want to camp tonight. But again, it will depend on how popular a spot it is, and I think it is pretty popular. There are already people hiking up and down, and it's only a Thursday afternoon, not even a weekend. But before I check that place out, I want to have a look at my alternative campsite. But I don't think that's going to really be a goer because of the wind. It's not a really strong wind, but up there it may well be a bit too strong to pitch the tent safely. But I want to have a look anyway, so let's go. I can't believe it, I was just about to go back to the path and I thought I'll just go this way instead, see if there's anything that I've missed, and I found a cave. I could see this little drop here, but then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's in the shadow at the moment. You can't really see it on camera, but it goes back quite far. Now there are caves all over this area, but I really wasn't expecting this little one, so I left my torch in the car. So later on, when I've got back from checking this other place out, I'll grab my torch and we'll have a look in there. Definitely, it's got to be done. So the next place I want to go to is kind of a gorge. The road runs through it, but you can actually walk up on top of the gorge. So it's like a cliff edge that runs alongside the road, and I have seen people camp up there. I've seen YouTube videos. See all the little lambs are out now. The last time I wild camped, I saw a lone lamb. I think it was one of the first of the spring, but they're all over the place now. It's been a few weeks since that trip. Hello, oh look, there's a little dappley one as well. How cute is that? And they're not that frightened either. Ah, so cute. Now it looks like I've got to go down that road there. That's the road that runs through the gorge, but at some point there'll be like a muddy kind of footpath that goes up over the top there. It's a bit dodgy along here. There's no actual paths on the road. Definitely need to keep your eyes peeled. I bet it's even busier on a weekend. So this is the path up onto the top of the cliffs, and look how steep the road is going down there. That is a hell of a gorge. I didn't expect it to be that steep. Now if I could find something like that higher up that isn't visible from the road, that would be perfect. Look at this though, I did not expect it to be so dramatic. Wow. That's incredible. Honestly, when I was looking at photos of this place before I came, it didn't look anything like this. It looked like the road was flat and there was a steep path up onto the cliffs, but it's the absolute opposite of that. The path up onto the cliffs is virtually level, and the road itself drops off into a big, you know, deep valley. I can see some kind of flat areas in front of some rocks there, but how close to the cliff edge are they? I don't want to take any major risks, especially if it gets windy. Now, unlike the peak over there where I was planning to camp tonight, this doesn't seem anywhere near as popular. There's nobody here. The road's quite busy, but there's nobody up here. So say, despite being a little bit scary looking and potentially very breezy, if I can find somewhere out of the wind, it may yet be where I end up camping tonight. I can see some little caves over there as well. And there. I'm not kidding when I say this part of England is littered with caves. There was a mining industry. I think a lot of the caves stem from that, but there's a lot of natural caves as well. Now you can see in the background there quite a big village, and it's called Castleton. Excuse my southern accent, I'm sure the people around here call it Castleton, and it looks like a really good place to visit. Lots of really old buildings, quaint little shops and tea rooms and stuff, and there's several caves down there that you can actually pay for guided tours to go around. Much bigger caves than the little ones you see dotted around on the hills, and I'm sure they're really worth going and have a look at. I will have to do that at some point, but I haven't really got time on this occasion. Anyway, let's get back on with it. Those look like potential places, but I just can't tell if there's any kind of steep stuff in between them. And I suspect there is. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Holy moly, that's scary. Yeah, I won't be camping anywhere near something like that. Whoa. Ha! That's amazing. I can't believe how much more stunning this area is than it looked in any of the photos or videos I saw before coming. Look at this. Alright, I haven't seen anywhere that I'd feel safe camping yet. There are some areas here that you could camp on. Very exposed though if it got very windy. Yeah. Yeah, this is shocking stuff. I think camping here is a bit of a silly idea. People do camp here. I'm just not as brave as them. That's a cool view. Couldn't have picked a better day again. This whole week's been really nice, but I couldn't go away until today because my car was in the garage yesterday. Had to have another wheel bearing, the second wheel bearing in 7 months. Poor little bothy mobile. I don't know if I do some miles in it. So I reckon after this we've run out of options, but I've still got to go back and check out that peak. Hopefully it's going to quieten down and that'll be the spot. There's a nice big almost flat area here. You could camp here, I reckon, and I don't think too many people would bother you. You might see the odd dog walker up here because Castleton's not that far away. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to get too close to the edge because this is probably the biggest drop off in the entire pass. Ooh, look at that. Ah, there is a bit of a ledge down there. Yeah, look at this. Let's have a look. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's flat though. This is still dodgy. There's enough of a slope there for you to roll off the edge. Look at that. Tiny little cave there. And of course there's some broken cellar bottles in there. What about back up on the top here? Looks like there's a space that would be sheltered if it wasn't for the wind blowing from the east. Yeah, I reckon if the wind was blowing from the other side you might be able to pitch up there, but it's still proper dodgy. I'm not brave enough to camp right on the edge of a cliff face, and there's a lot of evidence I've seen where it's kind of collapsed. So yeah, not good. As I said though, I'm very glad that I came and checked it out because it's so dramatic, it's beautiful. But that is where we're going next, the big bump in the ground there. Just occurred to me that I saw some hang gliders on the way in where I parked the car, and the easterly wind is blowing straight from here to there. So I wonder if they jumped from up here. They could have done. Scary stuff. Right, I'm back down by the windy hollow, and I took my top off. I was getting so hot. Now I'm back out in the wind again. It feels chilly, but I was sweating. Anyway, there's the wall where the car's parked, and I've just got to cross the road through the gate up to there, and then along the top to the trig point. It's really not very big, 517 meters above sea level, so that's 1,969 feet. But we're already, you know, in the peaks, so the prominence of it is not much at all really. That's why it's a little bit risky camping up there. It's so close to the road. We'll see. The sun's dropping down, but there's still a couple of hours of daylight left. So we've got plenty of time to case this place out. There we go. Oh, trying to do it one-handed. Still can't believe that blue sky. It's so pretty. So if you're wondering what the name of this peak is, all will be revealed in a minute, because I think there's a sign here. Yeah, there it is. Welcome to Mam Tor Hill Fort. So yeah, apparently it was a hill fort and burial ground, and some of the stuff they found up here, the artifacts have been around 4,000 years old, so yeah, we're going back a long way. Oh, someone's left this gate ajar. Oh, ow. Yeah, didn't mean to do that. Whoa. You know when a peak is popular when they put in a proper staircase. It feels like you're going really high really quickly, but it's an optical illusion, a bit like Winnett's Pass, where the trail isn't actually very steep, but it starts revealing the drop off and the view, and you suddenly realise you're already quite high up. Look at this view that's appearing on my left hand side now. That's amazing. I'd love to have that as my view tonight. You friendly? You friendly? Oh, hello, hello. Oh. It is quite a good shot with the sun there and the trail I've left behind. Here we go. It's just coming into view now. There we go. Made it. I made it to the summit of Mam Tor, and it took all of 10 minutes, if that. Right, let's look for some nice flat grassy areas. Oh, by the way, that is called the Great Ridge. Goes on for like 6 to 8 miles, I think, back down to Castleton. It's like a circular route. Castleton, sorry. Okay, what we got down here? It's all looking a bit slopey. Okay, I saw a spot that's got potential, but there's someone sitting there. This isn't working out as well as I'd hoped. Mam Tor Barrow. So this ancient barrow is a Bronze Age burial mound. I wonder if there are actual remains in there still. That looks relatively flat. That would probably do. Yeah, I reckon that might be our spot, you know. Now people would be able to see it from the trig point, but it's shielded from the rest of the trail. But I just realised if I do camp there, it's going to be right next to the burial ground. Could be haunted. There are still people walking up to the summit, but it is kind of early evening time. I suppose people may have just got in from work, wanted to come out and walk the dogs, that kind of thing. Hopefully it'll quieten down soon. So let's see if I've got mixed up on where the old road was. Is it this side? Yeah, I think it is, look. I reckon that's the old road. Does seem odd that there's quite a wide flat section running alongside it. This could be it, and if that's the case, I've mixed up the sides. I thought it was that side and it'd be out of the wind. Yeah, maybe not, because it just disappears here by the looks of it. Oh, I did not expect that. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is a proper cliff, and you can see where it's all just collapsed there. Apparently it was called the A625, and it was closed in 1979 because it was just having constant collapses and being covered by landslides, all sorts. It was just not a viable route. So is there anywhere else that would make a good spot? So this little cleft here is where I saw someone sitting. I wouldn't be surprised if someone has camped here. So there's a couple of little spots that may do. I'm not going to be out of the wind completely, that's for sure. I think until the sun goes down, I'm not going to be alone up here. It's a great spot to watch the sunset. Yeah, it's mad. It's getting busier, and it's like 6:30 in the evening now. So I think I'm going to head back to the car, find somewhere to set up my cooker and cook my food. Ideally I wanted to do it in the tent, but got a couple of hours of daylight left, maybe even a little bit more before the sun's fully disappeared, and it's going to be late if I'm cooking once I'm in the tent. So yeah, I think it's probably a better idea to do it now. This looks like it could have been the start of a road. I wonder if where it suddenly fell off like a cliff face, if that was the end of the road and it literally just fell away. And this could have been the start of it. There's some guy trying to parascend over there. I'm not sure it's windy enough anymore to get up there from the ground. Just thought I'd get a bit of a closer look at this guy parascending, or trying to at least. How cool is that? That's such a great shot. That was really good timing because it just collapsed. I don't know if he's actually trying to take off or if he's just, you know, testing the gear. Who knows? Anyway, I've decided that a nice little peaceful spot might be Windy Knoll. So I just bagged up my cooking stuff. I won't have to carry it in the rucksack now for when I do need to get up there and wild camp. So yeah, quickly knock up some food by the Windy Knoll cave. Oh damn it, I forgot my blooming torch again. At least the car's only there. So the good thing about coming over here to cook my food is it's well away from all the tourists. I can use my stool that I've remembered to put in the boot, thankfully. And all I've got to do is warm through a chili con carne, and I've got tortilla wraps. So it's not going to take long to cook, and I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it's not still frozen solid. Let's have a look. It's still quite frozen. There we go, came out as a solid brick. Yeah, I'm not sure how successful this is going to be. So it has melted and it's starting to cook, but it's a little bit of a slow process because the flame's getting battered from all directions by the wind coming through here. This is probably the stupidest place to try and cook my food. And I'm running out of sun now, it's just about to go over the top of the hill there. I come higher up on the rocks, so I've got more light, and it does feel a little bit more shielded up here as well. I've only got a tiny little space of grass really, and I'm right next to a little bit of a drop, but it's safe enough. And look at that, very nice. So there's a hot chili con carne with red kidney beans and onions in there, some proper minced beef. It won't be long, whack it in the tortillas, bit of cheese and sour cream. Lovely. So let's get some of it in the tortilla. Now I have a little bit of sour cream. Should have put that in the tortilla first actually. Always loads of cheese. And I notice whenever I say there's too much cheese, I often get comments saying there's no such thing. Right, let's try it. Nice. And I think even though I've moved up onto slightly higher ground, we've probably only got another 5 minutes of light left, so I'm going to get cracking with this and then head back to the car to get the rest of my gear. Okay, I finished my food. It was very, very tasty. I've left no trace, it's all back in my bag. The sun's pretty much gone down over the hill there, despite the fact that the official sundown isn't for another half an hour. But I still think we've got getting on for an hour of light, enough light that I'll be able to see to pitch the tent, I reckon. So let's get sorted. This is crazy. It's like nearly night time now and there's still people pulling up, parking in the lay-by and walking up there. I don't know whether to just walk up there with my pack now or walk up there, watch the sunset, come back down and get my pack afterwards. I don't know, I think I'm just going to take my pack up there. If anyone asks any questions, what can I say? Hopefully there's no one up there who's going to be a busybody and tell me I can't camp or whatever. We'll see. But I don't really want to miss the sunset, to be honest, and it's about to go, so decision time. Oh, by the way, the parascending guy's up there, so he must have just been trying his gear out in this field and he's gone up to higher ground and jumped off somewhere. Okay, I'm committed now. I've got my pack on and I'm on my way up, but this is feeling on top. This place is way too close to civilization, I think. I can still see loads of people up there. Kids on bikes, you name it. So I'm not sure this is going to be a successful wild camp, but let's get up there and have a look. Okay, I'm not quite at the top yet, but I think the sun's literally about to disappear over the hill there. Oh, it's so beautiful. That is a beautiful sight. I'm glad I didn't totally miss it. Would have been nicer to have been sat down up there, chilling there. Blimey, putting this on straight after eating and hiking up here, even though it's only a short distance. Wow, it's killing me. Not the best move. But anyway, just saw a massive group of youngsters leave. They must be from Castleton. I think there's some more up here I noticed. But hopefully they'll all go soon and it'll be just me. Whew. Look at this now. So good. It's pretty much gone, but it's still beautiful. It's drawn quite a crowd up there. I saw quite a lot of people going down as I was coming up, but there's still quite a lot of people up here. It is not a private place, this one. I don't know whether or not to go the other side now. It's a little bit lumpy bumpy, it's not as nice as this freshly grazed grass here. But once I've got my sleeping mat out, I'll still be comfortable there. And I think it might be a better view and slightly less exposed. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a quandary because I've just not had time to really think about it with all the people around. But there's not going to be much light left. I need to get the tent up. It doesn't help that this spot is visible from the summit, so as long as all of those people are up there, I can't put it up. Okay, I think the last of the people are just walking down now. And it's a good job as well because there's really not much light left. You can still see the orange on the horizon there, which is giving me enough light for now, but it's much darker than it looks on camera. And you got a lovely crescent moon up there as well now, almost a half moon to be honest. But yeah, there's no one on the summit anymore, and I don't think anyone's down there. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a quick look. No, I think we're good. There were loads of cars parked in the lay-by there as well, watching the sunset from down there. So it's obviously a popular thing to do on a nice day like this in these parts. Can't blame them. Alright, I'm going to set the tent up. I think it's about as safe as it's going to get. Let's do it. I was literally about to setting the camera up, and then a load of lads came and sat down just over there. They've gone again. Hopefully they're going to go home. This is what you get when you camp in, you know, more or less public places, I guess. Silly idea, but I'm here now, so let's try and make the most of it. So those kids that just sat down near me, I thought they'd gone, but it turns out they've all walked up to the summit. There's like 4 of them, I think, and they're all just, I don't know, looking at the sunset, I guess, but they can see me, so I really don't feel comfortable setting the tent up until they've gone. But it's really getting dark now. I mean, I've got the exposure turned up on the camera, so that the camera's picking me up at least, but I'm getting less and less light for building the tent, and I don't know how long it's going to take to build it considering I've never done it before. Bit of a nightmare really. Okay, they've walked down off the summit, but I can still hear them. But I need to get set up, otherwise I'm going to be doing this in the dark. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, that looks something like it. I reckon we're getting there. Okay, I've got the tent set up. It looks pretty cool, but I'm not alone up here. I can hear voices again. I just saw a torch go on at the summit, so it's them same kids again, I think. I don't think they actually left. Anyway, let's give you a little bit of a tour. As you can see, it's got bags more room than the other tent had. I was right against the back wall there, and the back wall of the tent itself touched the inner wall, whereas that's not the case with this one. There's actually a big old vestibule the other side of that inner door there. And there's a door on both sides. So when the door's closed, I've got all this room either side of the inner. I've got all my stuff down there. Got my pack in the corner there, and still I'm fairly central. So this is a much bigger and better tent than the other one, but I still don't think I'm going to get a peaceful night because I'm just worried about these kids hanging around. Honestly, haven't they got homes to go to? Anyway, if you look out here, there's very little light left. I think that might be a farm or something, all those lights there. But anyway, it's 9:30 already. I can't believe how quickly that last hour's just flown by. I couldn't even set the tent up until like half an hour ago. So it's a good job I didn't wait until now to cook food and stuff. But I do think I'm going to have to boil some water for my hot water bowl because it is going to drop down to like -1, I think, tonight. Possibly even more being up here. So yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea, I think, to just get that done now. Right, my hot water bowl's done. That's in the bottom of the bag. Should be nice and toasty when I get in there later. Not much later, to be honest, it's already late. But I can't hear any more kids talking up on the summit. Can't see any more torchlights, so hopefully they've gone. I have been hearing periodically some kind of machinery sounds down in the farm there, but it's stopped now. So hopefully that's not going to go on all night long, but even if it does, it's not too intrusive. It's far enough away. But yeah, it's still beautiful out there. It's very clear. You can still see kind of an orange glow on the horizon. But you've got some stars up there now, and the moon. Very pretty. So I think what I'm going to do now is get my phone on a tripod, try and get some great night shots. Right, I've just been outside. I didn't get too many shots. I had 2 goes at getting the same shot but at a slightly different angle. And it came out really well, to be honest. But the moon's out, so it's washed all the stars out. But it's still a fantastic picture. And amazingly, while I was standing out there with no torch on, anything like that, I could see the moon is so bright on such a clear night. It's amazing. However, this camera will not pick it up as well as my naked eye. So let's wander around by torchlight. Let's just do the tent up for a minute. And look at that tent. That is so much better than the other one. It's actually the same brand, and it's a new version of the OEX Raccoon 2. So it's a 2-man tent, which is why it's got bags of room in it. So should we have a little wander up to the summit? We might as well. Oh yeah, and here's the burial mound that I'm sleeping right next to tonight. Hopefully whoever's under there is resting in peace. So this is where I find out whether I'm alone or not, or whether there's still people hanging around. But I can't hear any voices anymore, and to be honest, I think some of the voices I thought were kids were down on the farm. I don't remember these rocks. I actually didn't realise until I was going through the footage that there was a mouse here. How about that? Here's the path. Well, the gaps between these slabs are huge. You could easily twist an ankle if you're not paying attention. There we go. So I'm summiting again, but this time in the dark by torchlight. It's really cool, actually. Can I see it in the torchlight yet? Not yet. There it is. How cool is that? Very cobbly, I've got to be careful. I don't twist my ankle. But here we are. So there's the Mam Tor trig point by night with Castleton in the background. Right, I'm freezing now, and my coat is stuffed into my pillowcase ready for bed. I actually use my coat as a pillow. It's the only thing that's really anywhere near comfortable. I hate the inflatable ones. So, long and short of it, the wind is quite cold here, it's bitter to be honest. So let's get back down to the tent, get warm and get some sleep. I think I've been up long enough today. It's actually less dangerous to walk to the side of the path, to be honest. It is relatively tidy up here though, which is nice. I've seen a bottle and a wrapper here and there, but mostly good. So the tent's blending in quite nicely now without the lights on. Even when it on, it wasn't that bad from the outside, to be honest. A couple of reflective strips on the ends there. I guess that's to sort of warn you of the guy lines. The guy lines look a bit reflective as well, which is quite cool. Yeah. Alright. And we're back. Oh. Right, I'm in my sleeping bag now, and it's getting on for 10:30 already. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and get some sleep. But now that I'm actually in the sleeping bag, I can see just how much room I've got in this tent compared to the other one. There's bags of room, I mean, it is supposed to be a two-man tent, although it would be a squeeze, but for one person it's absolutely plenty. I've got all that room down the side of me there, and then almost as much room this side. Plus you've got the space in the vestibule outside, the doors either side. You could leave your shoes out there too, or anything that got wet if it was raining. So yeah, it's well handy having some space that's still within the tent but outside the inner. Very, very good. Right, I think it's going to be lights out now, and I'm going to try and get some shut-eye. Probably going to wake up as soon as the sun comes up, unless I'm absolutely comatose. I am quite tired. But yeah, I should imagine I'll be waking up as soon as the sun comes up. That's if I don't get a load of kids coming up here with torches waking me up in the middle of the night. Fingers crossed that's not going to happen. Anyway, hopefully it'll be uneventful, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Okay, it's just coming up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got woken up about 3:30 because I could hear voices. So it was clear that someone was walking up the trail the other side of the hill. But I got a little bit worried. I thought I'm not going to be able to sleep if people are up here. Stuck my head out the tent and looked up, and there's all torch lights up near the summit, and I could hear some music as well. But I didn't want to put the tent light on inside the tent because I would have just stuck out to them like a sore thumb. I think at the moment they don't know I'm here. So I just basically got dressed, come for a walk. I'm behind the burial ground there, so they shouldn't be able to see me from where they are, just so I could put the light on and talk to the camera. But yeah, I did not expect to be getting up this early, and I certainly didn't expect people to be coming up here at like 3:30 in the morning. Sun-up's not even for another 2 hours. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't know if they've come here after a night clubbing or something, but yeah, they've got a bit of music up there, and I can hear them talking still even from this distance. So yeah, I don't know if they've just got up incredibly early to see the sunrise, or whether they've come here after, like I say, a night clubbing. Mad. I think I did get about 5 hours sleep though before that happened, so not too bad. But yeah, I'm going to be pretty tired by the time I get home. Anyway, luckily it is actually bright enough out here to be able to see, so I didn't need to turn the light on to sort myself out. I got a couple of night shots as well. I actually took a picture of their torch up there on the hill. They're not quite on the brow by the looks of it when I looked at the photograph. They're just down off of it. And I also noticed there's like a cloud inversion over the farm, and you can actually see the lights from the farm shining through the cloud inversion, which is really, really cool. So yeah, I thought I'm awake now, I might as well get some nice photographs. Anyway, I can't sit here for too long because although it's only a really gentle breeze, it's quite cold. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the tent now and get out of it. I ended up turning my torch on, and as soon as I did, I heard them all going, "Oh my god," because they obviously didn't see me until that went on. So yeah, I think give them a bit of a surprise, but I don't want to sit here in the dark forever. I've got to make my coffee. And like I said, it's ages before the sun actually comes up. There's a lovely orange glow over there though. Did get a nice picture of the tent with the orange glow coming up on the horizon. But yeah, it's a little while to go yet before it actually pops up. Let's get this coffee on the go. So seeing as we're in the Peak District and not in Scotland, I would have aimed to have packed up and been out of here before anyone else came up here, but these guys have basically thrown that out the window. So I think I'm just not in a hurry now. I'm still going to try and get out of here by sort of 6, because I doubt many people will be up here other than these guys at that time of the day. Maybe some dog walkers or whatever. I did put my trail cam outside last night, but I don't know if it's caught anything. Let's have a look. It definitely went off when I stuck my head out to find out where the noise was coming from, so it would have captured that at least. Yeah, I think the first time it went off was when I stuck my head out the door. So no mice on this video. Well, apart from this one anyway. Sorry for those of you who enjoy my quiet morning coffee routine, but that's all gone out the window today. That's actually good. According to the Met Office website, there's still another hour before the sun's supposed to come up officially, but it's really bright now. That orange glow coming up over the horizon is absolutely beautiful. And the cloud inversions are still there. You can see one behind me there, and there's the one over the farm. So cool. I don't know if you can make it on this camera. I did take a photograph as well, where you can actually see the people standing up on the summit there. But yeah, they're not being too noisy now. Well, I thought the cloud inversion over that side was impressive, but wait till you see Castleton. Look at this. Wow. That is impressive. So basically down there it's proper foggy and horrible, but up here beautifully clear. And amazingly there's loads of people walking up here now. Honestly, I just didn't think there'd be people walking up here at this time of the day. I know people came here to see the sunset yesterday, but I still hadn't anticipated everyone would be getting up at the crack of dawn to see the sunrise. I guess it doesn't happen that often, having a clear evening and a clear morning from somewhere like this. It's a good viewpoint to see it, there's no doubt about that. But that is beautiful. I feel like I've got to get a better view of it. I'm so glad that I've done this now. It was very last minute and things didn't look like they were going to plan at the end of yesterday, but it's all worked out good in the end. This is where it just drops off. I think this is like the cliff edge here. So this is going to be about as good a view as we'll get, I think. That's impressive. Holy moly. Despite not being that high above sea level, it feels like you're on top of the world right now. As much as I could stand there forever, I've walked way too far away from the tent. So I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to set the camera up on a tripod and see if I can get a time lapse of when the sun actually comes up over the horizon while I'm putting the tent away. Right, I'm all packed up. I've left absolutely no trace. However, I do remember that bottle that was there from last night, so I'm going to pick that up. A, because, you know, it's nasty, and B, because I don't want to get blamed for it. Right, let's get back down to the car. The sun never did come up over the peak there. Oh, there it is. Just as I was saying that. How about that? Stunning. I was hoping it would come up while I was putting the tent away on the time lapse, but yeah, never time it right, do I? I mean, occasionally I do, but just lately I don't. That cloud inversion's looking very bright now. I think it's slowly burning away, but it is incredible. Look at that, so cool. Right, gonna make my way back down. Can actually see the car down there, so it hasn't been stolen. Hopefully it's still got all four wheels. Still can't believe how many people came up here this morning. There's no way I would have been able to go back to sleep. Right, I've just done my pack in the car and I've taken my coat off because it's warming up already. Sun's only been up, 20 minutes or so. But I thought before we moved on that I'd go and have a look at that windy old cave. I forgot to do it last night, kept forgetting to bring my torch out, but I've got it this time. So I'm going a bit of a different route to the way I came yesterday, but it should become apparent around this bend. And of course, when I looked at it yesterday, the sun was this side, so it may be a bit brighter in there this morning. Yeah, it's definitely more illuminated. Whether it goes into the cavern, I doubt. Yeah, it doesn't. But look at that, though, it's still quite cool. It's hard to distinguish the actual cavern from the shadows at the moment. There we go. Let's turn my torch on. Oh, that's made no difference. That's a little bit. What's this sign? Windy Knoll Cave. Do not enter. Risk of loose rocks falling from the roof. You can kind of see that. Look at that big section that's come down. Imagine that actually landed on you. Anyway, let's have a little look just into the edge of the cave. I don't think it goes back that far, to be honest, but it's still quite cool. There we go. Let's try and focus the beam a little. Okay, that section at the bottom there that looks like another cave in this light It isn't. I can see the back wall with my own eyes, but the torch isn't really doing much to illuminate it. But yeah, up here, that's more or less the majority of the back wall, apart from that little hole there. Right, let's get out from under this dangerous roof. So bright. Right, I really want to go into Castleton and get a fried breakfast, but when I looked online, the cafes I was looking at don't open till 9:30, I think. So, as much as I'm sure you'd like to see my breakfast, I don't think you're going to want to wait 2.5 hours to see me eat it. So, maybe I'll just add a photograph in post. But I'm really glad that I came and did this now. Such a great night. Only got 5 hours sleep, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, I just can't believe how busy this place is, and that I got away with wild camping there. Mad. Anyway, if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There's now a new hype button. If you tap that, gives the video a little bit of a chance to get into the hype charts, and it might push it out to a wider audience in its first week. I really would appreciate that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.